like, okay. Lisa,
all right, someone is going to time you 10 minutes, and that's it.
There you go. All right, so good evening. My name is Reischea, Canidate-Kapasouris, and I am in the process of discovering the new me. Sounds like a really awful diet, but it's not. It is the fact that 7 years ago, my career was about as clear as a blue sky in the springtime. It was awesome. I was one of the countless anchors, as Lisa mentioned, at ESPN. My son was just 3 months old at the time, and I knew that great things were coming my way. And then something changed. My contract did not get renewed, and for the first time in close to my 15-year career, there was doubt. Now, after initially leaving ESPN, I figured it's going to be about 6 months. This is no big deal. I'll be fine. So instead of being stressed about it, which I wasn't in those first 6 months, I was like, let's just enjoy watching my baby boy become a toddler. That's pretty awesome. But then those 6 months went by, and nothing in my career happened, and then the doubt crept in. So I decided, okay, so maybe we need to get a little fresh perspective. So I started considering leaving my representative, my agent at the time. I figured, we have been together from the very beginning of my career, and I said, okay, well maybe, just maybe, we've reached the pinnacle together. Maybe you need someone with a different thought process to help you out. So I spoke with some other representatives to see if there was a match, but I never really connected with anyone. And so I then decided, all right, well, you know what? Maybe that's the universe telling you, no, stay put, stick with your person. And then my agent called and said, perhaps you should get new representation. And he dropped me. Now I'm really reeling, because that's just like, what are you talking about? So the funny thing about doubt, especially with women, it does not stay compartmentalized. It weaves its way through our entire lives. So now, for the first time in my adult life, I have lost all confidence in myself, and eventually it completely started to break me down. Spot work kind of kept me afloat for a little bit, but then when that dried up, it was pretty clear my TV career was done. So let's fast forward to today. My son, awesome, 8 years old. I now have a 3-year-old daughter as well, and somehow my husband is still with me, and we're approaching 11 years. So I do wonder about his sanity. And while there have been numerous blessings in my life, and I recognize them, and I am immensely grateful for them, there still is an emptiness in my life that I have been trying to figure out. And the thing is there was something that was mine, that was solely mine before my husband, before my kids, and I didn't have that thing anymore. So a whole lot of ideas rattled around my head, and I even considered, well, why don't we go back to school? We can start a whole new thing, and then that was just starting to give me agita. So I was like, I can't do that. So then I looked into like real estate license and appraisers, and it's so funny because I call her my play sister. She was so like, if that's what you want, that's great, and she never stepped me back from it. And but none of that really took. The other side of things is I love my children with absolutely everything I've got, as we all do. I have a crazy supportive husband, and one of those really lucky individuals that has had the opportunity to be home with my kids. In fact, my son, turns out, kind of really needed me with attention sensory issues, behavioral questions, and eventually diagnosis of high-functioning spectrum child. So all of this is enough to fill a person's plate, and yet I still felt myself sinking into my life and losing all independence, and simultaneously feeling nothing but shame because I cared for something outside of my home and outside of my kids. Why couldn't I just be satisfied with that? So beating myself up then became a daily art, and to this day, every day, I literally have to dispel that frustration and realize that there is nothing wrong with wanting something for me. And so now, I am in the process my own voiceover company and taking on the skills that I've honed doing my television career and turning that into an entrepreneur individual. I'm completely out of my comfort zone because now I'm starting to deal with like business stuff, and I avoided business for a reason in college. But at the same time, I know that this is where I need to be. And ironically, my play sister was just like, "Oh my God, I'm so glad you went that route," because the whole appraiser thing was just not one. But it's just not my career that started to move me back to the closed door, open opportunity girl. It has been my girls, my women, my support, my circle from all different walks of life through all different times. And those women have helped me see that wanting something for me was okay, and that say to me, "You're amazing." Lisa Katasic says that to me every day, and at some point I honestly believe her. Women that say, "How can I help?" or "Have you considered this?" Women who realize that it's far more beneficial to lift one another up rather than tearing each other down. Because you know what, let's face it, we just need more of us, because the dudes tend to make things far more difficult than they need to be. They just do. My husband is awesome. He is awesome. But when you ask me how to make oatmeal and you existed in your own apartment before you met me, I mean, seriously. I kid my husband, kind of. But honestly, he's 100% with me. And he too has been just an ultimate source of support for me. He is basically whatever you need, what you need to do, what you want to do, I'm with you. And that's been great. And then he's dealt with my highs and my lows, which is why I wonder, is he okay? So my walk is still very much in process. It's been a slow journey, and that's fine too, because you got to be careful with your time and not spread yourselves too thin. And I also refuse to sacrifice my ability to be as involved as I possibly can with my son in his school, and soon my daughter when she gets into school. So I'm setting my own pace, and as long as I'm making progress, which includes even if I only spend 20 minutes thinking about my company's logo, that's okay. That's where I'm going and what I need to do at this moment in time. But when I get to that point, that launch point, which is going to happen going into 2020, I look forward to sending that ladder down and helping up whomever I can, because at the end of the day, we can't do this by ourselves. We just can't, and we need to stop trying.